Hey guys, welcome to a new video of CSAT with Jasin. So in this video, we'll be talking about ratios and proportions. Okay, so when it comes to this topic, UPSC has been consistently asking one or two questions every year from this topic. And one of the problem with this topic is that many students find this topic actually very difficult because of the quantitative nature of this topic. Okay, because you have to do some formulas, calculations and all in this topic. But I will try to make this topic very simple to you. I will also show you some simple tricks using which you can solve the questions on this topic. So if you like this video, please do subscribe, share and support. And you can also join my Telegram channel using the link that I'll be providing in the description box. So let us move on with the video. So when it comes to ratios and proportion, there are generally some general type of questions that is being asked from this topic. So one is about the mixtures and alligations and all. So you will be given questions like there is milk and water in a bottle. So that kind of questions can be asked. And secondly, you can get questions about partnerships, that is investing some amount of money in this ratio in a firm or something like that. That questions can be asked. And the third is the general type of question, that is general division of money between 2 or 3 persons. So that kind of question can also be asked. So these are the most general type of questions from these ratios. Okay, so what we will be doing is I'll be teaching you some concepts on ratios first. Okay, then we will be moving on to different kind of questions and I'll be teaching you how to approach these questions, how to approach different types of questions and also how to solve them very easily. Okay, so now let us look into some concepts about ratios. So for that I am taking an example. Let's say A is equal to 60 and B is equal to 25. Now we need to find out what is A is to B, or what is the ratio between A and B, that is A is to B. Okay, so in that case we need to find A divided by B. So A by B is 60 and B is 25, that is 60 divided by 25. So we can cancel 5 in the numerator and denominator. So if you cancel 5 on both numerator and denominator, it will become 12 divided by 5. So here in this case, A is to B is equal to 12 is to 5. So this is the concept of ratios actually. So if you are given like A is to B is 12 is to 5, then what is A and B, something like that. If you are asked the question like that, then that means A will be some number x into 12 and B will be some number, the same number, x into 5. So here 60 and 25, that means 12 into 5 and 5 into 5. So in this case, in the example that I have taken, x was 5. So that is x is 5 into 12, A is 60 and B is 5 into 5, it is 25. So this is the general concept about ratios. So now I will take some more examples in order for you to understand the concept much more in depth. Okay, so you can be asked a question like this. Actually UPSC won't ask a question like this. The question here is, if A is to B is 2 is to 4 and B is to C is 3 is to 5, what is A is to B is to C? So normally UPSC will ask only practical questions, okay, application level questions. So this kind of question you can accept in different other exams but not in UPSC exam. But anyway, in order for you to understand the concept of ratios very well, you need to know these concepts as well. Okay, so you are given A is to B and you are given B is to C. You need to find out what is A is to B is to C. Actually there are two methods to solve this question, so I will tell you both the methods. So here what you need to do is that here B corresponds to 4 and A corresponds to 2. Here B corresponds to 3 and C corresponds to 5, right? So what you need to do is that you need to make the number corresponding to B in both the ratios the same by multiplying by a number. Okay, so here you know that LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So what you need to do is you need to make here this one 12 and you need to make this one 12. Then if you make both the numbers 12, then B in both the ratios, the number corresponding to B in both the ratios is going to be the same. So I'm going to make it 12 because LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. Okay, so in order to make this 4 12, I need to multiply by 3, right? So it's a ratio. So if you multiplied here by 3, you need to multiply here also by 3. Okay, here in order to make 3 12, I need to multiply by 4. So I am multiplying by 4 and it's a ratio. So if you multiply here with 4, you need to multiply here also with 4. So now the ratio A is to B becomes 6 is to 12 and B is to C becomes 12 is to 20. So here now, here in this ratio 12 corresponds to B, in this ratio also 12 corresponds to B. So you can write it as A is to B is to C is 6 is to 12 is to 20. So here 2 is common, so you can divide it by 2. So it will become 3 is to 6 is to 10. So this is the ratio. So there is another method here. It's actually very easy. Now A is to B is to C is 2 is to 4. A is to B is 2 is to 4. And B is to C is 3 is to 5. We need to find out what is A is to B is to C, right? So what you need to do, just multiply like this. 2 into 3 is 2. Now multiply like this. 3 into 4 is 2. Now multiply like this. 4 into 5. So 2 into 3 is 6. 3 into 4 is 12. And 4 into 5 is 20. So you got 6 is to 12 is to 20, which is same as 3 is to 6 is to 10. So in both the method, you are getting 3 is to 6 is to 10. Now there is another thing here that you need to understand. If you are given like A is to B is equal to 2 is to 4 and C is to B is equal to 5 is to 3. So now you shouldn't do like this. Okay. You should only do like this after making it in the order. Here it is given A is to B is 2 is to 4 and then it given C is to B is 5 is to 3. It should be in the order A is to B is to C. Okay. So you need to make this C is to B into B is to C. So here now what will happen? A is to B is 2 is to 4. Now what you need to do? You need to rotate this one. Similarly, you need to rotate this one also. So B is to C becomes 3 is to 5. So after making it in this order, then you can apply this trick or this trick. Any trick if you want, you have to do like this and then you can do the question. Okay, this one you need to remember. Okay. Now let's see another question. Here you are given A is to B, then given B is to C, and you are also given C is to D. Now you need to find out what is A is to B is to C is to D. So here there are 4 variables. So let's see how we can do this. There is also a trick here. So first what you need to do, you need to multiply like this. That is 2 into 4 into 6 is 2. Okay. Then you need to multiply like this. 3 into 4 into 6. 3 into 4 into 6. Then is 2. Then you need to multiply like this. 3 into 5 into 6. Okay. Then you need to multiply like this. 3 into 5 into 7. So this will be the ratio. Now what you need to do is that after writing this one, try to get the common numbers here and you can cancel it out. Here actually in all these things 3 is a common factor, right? So you can cancel 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and here 6 is containing 3, 6 is 2 into 3. So if I cancel 3 here, it will become 2. Now you can write it like this. 2 into 4 into 12 is 8 into 2, that is 16 is 2. 4 into 6 is 24, that is 16 is to 24 is 2. 5 into 6 is 30 is to 5 into 7 is 35. So this is the ratio. So this is one small trick that you can use in order to find answers to these kind of questions very easily. Okay. So let us now see a different kind of example. So if you are given like this, A by 2 is equal to B by 3 is equal to C by 5, and you are asked to find out what is A is to B is to C. Again, this kind of questions UPSC is not going to ask, but for you to understand the concepts more clearly and for also these kind of questions can be asked in other exams. So that's why I'm telling you all these concepts. Okay. So if you are asked a question like this and you need to find out what is A is to B is to C, let's see how we can do this. So here what you need to do is that we know A by 2 is equal to B by 3 equal to C by 5. Just equate it to some number K. Okay. So that means A by 2 equal to K, B by 3 is equal to K, and C by 5 is also equal to K. Okay. So A by 2 equal to K means A is equal to 2K, right? B by 3 is equal to K means B is equal to 3K. And C by 5 is equal to K means C is equal to 5K. That means A is to B is to C is 2K is to 3K is to 5K. Right? Here K is common, so you can cancel K. That means it is becoming 2 is to 3 is to 5. So just remember this one. If you are getting a question like this, A by 2 equal to B by 3 equal to C by 5, that means the ratio of A by A is to B is to C will be the denominators itself. That is 2 is to 3 is to 5. Okay. So now let us take a different example. If you are given like this, that is 2a equal to 3b is equal to 4c, and then you are asked to find out what is a is to b is to c. Again, similar to before, just equate it to k. That means 2a is equal to k, which means a is equal to k divided by 2, and 3b is equal to k, that means b is equal to k by 3, and 4c is equal to k, which means c is equal to k by 4. So a is to b is to c is k by 2 is to k by 3 is to k by 4. So I can cancel k, then it will become 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 4. Now just multiply with the LCM of 2, 3 and 4. So LCM of 2, 3 and 4 is 12. So if I am multiplying with 12 on all the ratios, it will become 12 into half is 6 is to 12 into 1 by 3 is 4, 6 is to 4 is to 12 into 1 by 4 is 3. So 6 is to 4 is to 3. So this will be the ratio. Okay. So in this way you need to solve the question. So in every question where you are getting in these kind of concept, that is some value of a equal to some value of b equal to some value of c, if you are getting questions like that, just equate it to a number k. Okay, then do the operations just like I have did here, then you can find the answer very easily. Okay, so now let us take a different example, so for you, so that you will understand the concepts of ratios really well. Okay, so this is the most general kind of questions that can be asked. Okay, so here x has rupees 800, so x has rupees 800 with him. He divided it among a and b in the ratio 5:3. How much money did a got? So here you can do this question in two ways. So I will first tell you how you can solve it using the concepts, and then how you can solve it very easily. Okay, so in this case a is to b is given as 5:3. Okay, so here let us assume that the money that a got is 5 into some number x, and let us assume that money b got is 3 into the same number x. So that means a is to b is 5x is to 3x, so it will become 5:3. That is what given here. So just multiply 5 and 3 with the same number x or k, whatever it is, then just assume like this: a got 5x money and b got 3x money. We know that the total money is 800. That means 5x plus 3x is equal to 800. So you will get 8x equal to 800, or x is equal to 100. X is equal to 100, right? So x is 100. That means a got 5x money. So 5 into 100. That means a got 500 and b got 3x. That is 3 into 100. That is 300. So in this way you can solve this kind of questions. So this is the most general kind of questions that you can get from ratios. Okay, and now to solve this very easily, what you need to do, just take the sum of 5 and 3, that is the ratio is 5:3. So just take the sum of 5 and 3, it's going to be 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. So ratio of a is 5, right? Ratio of a is 5 and ratio of b is 3. So the money that a gets will be 5 divided by total 8, that is the sum, into total money which is 800. So it will become 5 into 100, 500. So in this way you can solve it very easily. And the amount of money b gets is the ratio of b is 3. 3 divided by total is 8 into 800. You will get 300. So in this way also you can solve this question very easily. Now let us take a different example. So if you are given a question like this: 20% of x is equal to 10% of y, then what is the ratio of x and y? That is x is to y. What is x is to y? So here 20% of x means 20 by 100 into x, right? It is equal to 10% of y, which means 10 by 100 into y. So here you can cancel cancel 100 in both sides. So 20x equal to 20x is equal to 10y. You can cancel 10 on both sides. It will become 2x equal to y. So after you get like this, don't go and choose the option 2:1. Some students, after getting 2x equal to y, okay, so I got 2x equal to y, that means the ratio is 2:1. So some students have a tendency like that. So don't go like that. Just do what I have told you before. So you got 2x equal to y, just equate it to a number k. Okay, 2x and y are same, 2x equal to y. Let's say it is equal to k. Then you will get 2x equal to k, which means x is equal to k by 2. And y is equal to k itself, right? So x is to y is k by 2 is to k. You can cancel k on both sides, so it will become half is to 1. So after multiplying 2 on both sides, it will become 1 is to 2. So x is to y is actually 1 is to 2. Some students, after seeing this, they will write 2 is to 1, which is wrong. So you have to do like this, and then you need to come up with the answer. Okay, so I hope you understand this. So now let us solve some questions on partnership. So this is a common type of questions, but UPSC hasn't asked many questions from this area. So there is a chance that UPSC can ask from this area in the upcoming exams as well. Okay, so here let us read the question first. A and B started a partnership by contributing a capital in the ratio 2:3. That means A and B are starting a partnership together, and they contributed some money, okay, and it is in the ratio 2:3. That means if A put 200 rupees in the capital, B have put 300 rupees. That is, their ratio is 2:3. Okay, then after 10 months, so they initially put a capital, then after 10 months they received a profit of rupees 10,000. Okay, so they received a profit 10,000. Then we need to find what is the share of A and B in this profit. So in the profit 10,000, how much we should give to A and how much we should give to B. So here the thing is that initially they are putting a capital in the ratio 2:3, and then there is no change in capital, and then after 10 months they are receiving the profit, right? There is no change in capital at all for the 10 months. But normally the questions from partnership comes with change in capital. That we'll be dealing in the next example. I will show you how to solve that questions as well. Okay, so here in this example there is no change in capital. If there is no change in capital, then the ratio of their profit will also be 2:3. So the ratio of their capital and the ratio of their profit will be the same if there is no change in capital. Okay, so here A and B will receive the profit also in the ratio 2:3. So A's share of profit will be, A's ratio is 2, so 2 divided by, total is 2 plus 3, 5, 2 divided by 5 into 10,000. So it will become 4,000. So A is getting rupees 4,000 from the profit of 10,000. Now the share of profit of B is 3 divided by 5 into 10,000. So it will become 6,000. So this is how you need to solve the questions if there is no change in profit. So now let us take an example where there is change in profit. Okay, sorry, where there is change in capital. So now let us see this question. A and B entered into a partnership with the capital in the ratio 4:5. Again, A and B are starting a partnership in the ratio 4:5. Their capital is in the ratio 4:5. After 3 months, A withdrew 1/4 of his capital. See, there is a change here. So in earlier question, there is no change in capital at all for the 10 months. But here, after 3 months, A is withdrawing 1/4 of his capital and B is withdrawing 1/5 of his capital. Okay. Now the gain at the end of 10 months was 760 rupees 760. Now we need to find what is A's share of profit or B's share of profit, whatever it is. So here in this type of question, there is a change. There is a change in capital. Okay. When is the change happening? After 3 months. So you need to understand the point where there is change. Here change is happening after 3 months and the profit is after 10 months. So you need to take that point where the change is happening. Sometimes there can be questions with two changes. Okay, maybe in 3 months there is a change in capital. Okay, maybe in 6 months there is a change in capital. So in these cases, if there is two change in capital, you need to consider these 2 points. Here there is one change in capital, so you need to consider that 1 point. That means first 3 months the capital is same, then there is a change for the next 7 months. There is total 10 months, right? So first 3 months there is a capital, then there is a change for the next 7 months. So you have to split the 10 months into 3 and 7. Now we need to consider A and B here. What is their capital, and here also what is the capital of A and B. Here the ratio of capital is 4:5. So just take A's capital initially was 4x and B's capital was 5x because their ratio is 4:5. Now after 3 months, A withdrew 1/4 of his capital. That means A's capital was 4x. 1/4 of 4x means 1/4 into 4x, it is x. So A withdrew x from 4x. So A's capital became 3x. Now what did B withdrew after 3 months? It withdrew 1/5 of his capital. So that is 1/5 into B's capital was 5x. So 1/5 into 5x is x. So B withdrew x from 5x. So B's capital become 4x. See, this is the change. Initially it was 4x for A, then after 3 months it become 3x. There is a change in capital. So here now you need to see what is the contribution of A and what is the contribution of B. Okay. So what you need to do is that you need to multiply the month into the capital here. That is 4x into 3. Then for the next 7 months it's 3x plus 3x into 7. So what you will get 12x plus 21x, it is 33x. Now B's contribution will be 5x into 3, that is 15x plus 4x into 7, that is 28x. So it will become 43x. Now you need to take the ratio of A and B. So A is to B is 33x is to 43x. We can cancel x, that means 33 is to 43. So their ratio of profit will be 33 is to 43. This you need to find out first. Okay. Now you need to find out A's share of profit. Again, we can take it like A's ratio is 33. Total ratio is 33 plus 43, it is 76 into total profit is 760. So you will get 330. So answer is 330. So if there is a change in capital, you need to do in this way. If there are two changes in capital, you need to split the time period. Here it is 10 months. Here there is one change in capital after 3 months. So I split into 3 and 7. If there is two change in capital, you have to split the 10 months into that two changes. Okay. So in this way, you need to tackle these kind of questions on partnership. Okay. So now let us see how we can solve the questions on mixtures. And UPSC liked this area, and UPSC has asked more than one question from this area in the last 3 years. Okay, so you need to understand this area very well, and I will show you two methods and you can use whichever methods that's going to suit you. Okay, so here let us read the question. There are two containers X and Y. So you have two containers X and Y. Okay, and X contains 100 ml of milk. So X is having 100 ml of milk and Y is having 100 ml of water. So Y is having 100 ml of water. So this is the initial condition. Okay. Now what happened is that 20 ml of milk is transferred from X to Y. So X had 100 ml of milk. From that 20 ml of milk is transferred to Y. So the amount of milk in X becomes 80 ml. So X is having 80 milk and Y was having 100 water. Now it also has 20 ml of milk. So it is having 20 milk also now. So now currently X is having only milk, but Y is having both milk and water. Now it is said that after mixing well, 20 ml of the mixture in Y is transferred back to X. So here what you need to do first is that you need to find out the ratio of milk and water in Y. So you know that water in Y is 100 and milk in Y is 20. So 100 is to 20 means if you divide by 20 on both sides, you will get 5:1. So the ratio of water and milk in Y is 5:1. So you need to first find this ratio. So ratio of water and milk in Y is 5:1. Now what we are doing is we are transferring 20 ml of the mixture in Y to 20 ml of mixture in Y to X. So what you need to do is that you need to find out in this 20 ml how many water is there and how many milk is there. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let's first find out the water in this 20 ml. So we know that the ratio of water and milk is 5:1 in Y. So the ratio of water is 5. The total ratio is 6. We need to find out how many water is there in 20 ml. So into 20. So this will be the amount of water which is present in the 20 ml. So how much you will get? Just multiply. You will get 100/6 water is there. Okay, 100/6 water is there in that 20 ml. Now how many milk will be there? The ratio is 1. So 1 divided by 6 into 20, you will get 20/6 milk will be there. So in this 20 liters of Y that we transferred from Y to X, you will be having 100/6 water and 20/6 milk. Now we need to see the final amount of milk and water in X and Y. So let's just see how we can do that. Y was having 100 water. From that 100/6 water is transferred from Y to X. Okay, so the amount of water in Y become 100. Initially it was 100. From that 100 by 6 we are transferring. So it will become 100 minus 100 by 6. Just cross multiply. That is 6 into 100 is 600. 600 minus 100 is 500. So 500 by 6. So you are having water 500 by 6 water in Y. Now we need to know how many milk is there in Y. So Y was having 20 ml of milk initially. From that we are transferring 20 by 6 milk to 20 minus 20 by 6. You will get 6, cross multiply, you will get 6 into 20, 120 minus 20 by 6, it's 100 by 6. So there will be 100 by 6 milk in Y. Now we need to find out how many milk and how many water is there in X. So X was initially having 180 milk, right? Now 500 by 6 water is added here and 100 by 6, so in that 80 you are adding 100 by 6 water and 20 by 6 milk is being added. So how many water is there now? 100 by 6 water is adding, so water will be 100 by 6 in X. And how many milk will be there? There was 80 milk. To that we are adding 20 by 6 milk. So 80 plus 20 by 6, just cross multiply, 6 into 80 is 480, 480 plus 20 is 500. So there will be 500 by 6 milk. So this is what you need to do in every stage. So here initially milk is being added from X to Y, then the mixture in Y is added to X. So many things are happening. So in each of these steps you need to find out how many milk and how many water is there in X and Y. So this is the procedure that you need to follow. Okay, then finally the question has asked if M denotes the proportion of milk in X. So milk in X is 500 by 6 and N denotes the proportion of water in Y. Water in Y is again 500 by 6. It is actually equal. So then which of the following is correct? The answer is M is equal to N. So the problem with this type of questions is that there is lot of calculation coming. There is ratios coming. Right? So many students, what happens is that even if they understand the concept very well, here you need to understand the concept very well in this type of questions, okay? Even after understanding the concept very well, because there is a lot of calculation involved, many students find this very difficult. So I am going to tell you a trick by which you can make this question a little more easy in calculation. The concept, everything is the same, but you can make this question a little more easier while doing the calculation. You can remove the fractions and everything. So I will tell you how you can do that. So now let us see how we can make the calculations easier. So initial steps are the same. You have two containers X and Y. X is having 100 ml of milk and Y is having 100 ml of water. And from X to Y we are transferring 20 ml. So X becomes 80 ml of milk and Y is becoming 100 water and 20 milk. So we have done like this. So here just find out the ratio. The ratio is 5:1. Water is to milk ratio in Y is 5:1. So after finding this one, just add 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Now what you need to do is multiply all the quantities in the question by 6. Okay. So I am changing this question. So I am making this 100 as 600. 100 into 6 is 600. Here also I am making it 600. Here also I am making 20 into 6 as 120. Here also I am making it as 120. So if you make like this, then your calculation is going to get easier. You will not get any fractions. So only because of that I am doing this one. If you are okay with calculations, if you are okay with quantity, okay, you can do it in the earlier method. But if you are a student who find it's difficult when you see any fractions and all, you can use this method. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. So now I have multiplied all the quantities in the question with 6 because the sum of the ratio was 5 plus 1, 6. So just remember that the ratio is 5:1. Water is to milk ratio in Y is 5:1. Just remember that. And now we'll do the question. Now X is containing, similarly we are doing it, okay. X is containing 600 ml of milk now. And Y is containing 600 ml of water. Now I am transferring 120 ml of milk from X to Y. So 600 minus 120 is 480. So X is having 480 milk now. And Y will be having 600 water. And 120 milk is transferred from X to Y. So Y will be having 120 milk. Now you know that ratio is 5:1. Now what happened is that 120 ml of this mixture in Y is transferred back to X. So from here to here we are transferring 120 ml. So in this 120 we need to find out how many milk is there and how many water is there. right? So in this 120, how many water is there? Ratio is 5. So 5 divided by 6 into 120. See, this will cancel easily. So 20 into 5 is 100. So 100 water will be there. So it was total 120, right? So if it's 100 water, rest 20 will be milk. So in this 120, you have 100 water and 20 milk. Okay. So there was 600 water in Y. So it becomes 600 minus 100. You will be having 500 water in Y. And it was 120 milk. 20 milk is being transferred. So it is becoming 100 milk here. Okay. And in case of X, there was 480 milk. Now you are adding 20 milk to it. So it is becoming 500 milk. And 100 water is adding. 100 water. See, the calculations were so easy. Earlier there were so many fractions. Here calculation is actually very easy. Now just take this question, that is if M denotes the proportion of milk in X, that is 500, and N denotes the proportion of water in Y, it is also 500. That means M is equal to N. So if you do like this, you can make the calculations very easy. Okay, so you can adopt whichever method you like. Okay. Now let us see another question. This is also a UPSC question. This is from 2020. Now we will be doing it in the second method that I have told you. That is how to, after making the calculations easier. So what you need to do, a bottle contains 20 liters of A. So A is there. There is only one bottle is there. It is having 20 liters of A initially. Okay. And there is 4 liters of liquid A is taken out. So it is becoming 16 liters of A. 4 is taken out. And it is replaced by the same quantity of B. That means 4 liters of B is added. So now the bottle is having 16 liters of A and 4 liters of B is there. So the ratio is 4:1. Right? 16:4 means if you are dividing by 4, it is becoming 4:1. If you take the sum, 4 plus 1, it is 5. So just remember A is to B is 4:1. So in order to make the calculations easier, I am multiplying with 5. Okay, all the quantities in the question I am multiplying with 5. So this 220 become 100. This 4 become 4 into 5, 20. This 4 also become 20. So I am doing the question like this. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. So a bottle is containing 100 liters of A initially. Then 20 liters of A is taken out. So it is becoming 80 A. And to that I am adding the same quantity of B. That means 20 B I am adding. So this is the condition now. Now 20 liters of this mixture is taken out. From here 20 liters is taken out. So we need to see in that 20 liters how many A is there, how many B is there. So how many A will be there in that 20 liter? 4, right? Ratio of A is 4. So 4 by total is 5. 4 by 5 into 20. So you are getting 16 A is there. And how many B will be there? Total 20 was there. If 16 was A, rest 4 will be B. So it was like this. From this I am removing 16A. So 80A minus 16A, you will get 64A. And from 20B I am removing 4B. So it will be 16B. Okay, so we are taking out 20 liters of the mixture. And we are replacing by the same quantity of liquid B. So to that we are adding 20 liters of B. So B is becoming 16 was there. If you are adding 20, it is becoming 36. So this is the final quantity. Okay. Then we are asked to find out the ratio. What is the ratio of 64:36? You can divide by 4. It is becoming 16:9. So the answer is 16:9. Now if you are not using this method and if you are using the normal way, you will be getting fractions and the calculations is going to be a little bit difficult and complicated. Okay, but if you do like this, then the calculations is going to be very easy. So this is how you need to approach this question. Some students actually find it okay for doing the answers in fractions. If for you can use the same method, but for those who find it difficult while doing the calculations using fractions, you can use the second method that I have told you. Okay, now let us see a different kind of question. Again, here also I will tell you an easy method to find the answer very easily. This is not a UPSC question, this is just an example. So in two types of powdered detergent, the ratio of soda and soap dust is 2:19 and 1:11. So there are two types of detergent. Okay, in both the detergents you have soda and soap dust is there. So in the first detergent it is in the ratio 2:19. In the second detergent it is in the soda and soap dust is in the ratio 1:11. Now 7 kilogram of first type. So this is 7 kilogram of first type is mixed with 4 kilogram of second type. 4 kilogram of second type. Okay. Then find the ratio of soda dust in the new detergent mixture. So here if you are doing in the normal way, you need to first find out in this 7 kilogram how many soda is there, how many soap dust is there. Then in this 4 kilogram, using these ratios, you need to find out how many soda is there, how many soap dust is there. Then you need to add each of this and you need to find out the ratio. If you are doing like that, again it's going to be very difficult. There will be fractions. Then you need to, the calculations is going to be complicated. So here you can use a simple trick. So how you need to do here is that if you add 2 plus 19, you are getting 21, right? So just multiply this with 3. 7 into 3 is actually 21. And then multiply this 4 also with 3. So you are getting 12 kilogram. That means in the question you were taking 7 kilogram of first mixture and 4 kilogram of second mixture. But I am going to do the same question with 21 kilogram of mixture, first mixture, and 4 into 3 is 12 kilogram of second mixture. I am just multiplying 3 on the both sides. If you do like that, the calculation is going to be easy because 2 plus 19 is 21 and 1 plus 11 is 12. So you can very easily find the answer. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. So here, instead of doing 7 kilogram and 4 kilogram, I am taking 21 kilogram and 12 kilogram. The answer is going to be the same because we are multiplying with the same number. Okay, that the same trick we have used in the previous one. Okay, in order to make the calculation easier, we are multiplying with the same number with all the quantities, right? So here 7 I am making 21 and 4 I am making 12. Okay, so in the 21 kilogram, we know there will be 2 soda and 19 soap dust. It's easy, right? Because 2 plus 19 is 21. So there will be 2 soda and 19 soap dust. In this 12 kilogram, you will be having 1 soda and 11 soap dust. So just add it directly. You will get this 3 and you will get this as 30. So 3 is to 30 is the answer. 3 is to 30 means if you divide by 3 on both sides, it's going to be 1 is to 10. So the answer is 1 is to 10. So in this way, you can easily solve the questions. The calculation can be made very easy if you are multiplying with the same number on the quantities. Okay. So now let us see a different kind of question. So this is a UPSC question actually, 2021 question. A student appeared in 6 papers. The maximum marks are the same for each paper. So in these type of questions, the maximum mark is not given. Just assume that the maximum mark is 100. So in each of the paper, the maximum mark is 100. There were 6 papers, so the total mark will be 600. In each of the paper, the maximum mark is 100. So total is 6 into 100, 600. Now his marks in these papers are in the proportion 5 is to 6 is to, it's given like that. Overall, he scored 60%. So 600 was the total mark. In that he got 60%. So we need to find out what is 60% of 600. That is 60 by 100 into 600. You will get 360. So out of this 600, he scored 360 marks. Okay. Now we need to find out in how many papers he scored 60% of less than 60% of the mark. Okay. So the total score was 360. Now we need to find out the mark in each of the paper. You have 6 papers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. So this is the ratio is 5 is to 6 is to 7 is to 8 is to 9 is to 10. Just add all this ratio. You will get 11, 18, 26, 26, 35 and 45. So the total is 45. So what will be in the first paper, what will be his mark? The ratio of first paper is 5. So 5 divided by total ratio is 45. So 5 by 45 into 360. So you can cut like this. 360 by 9 is 40. Actually, we need to find out in how many papers he scored less than 60% mark. So 60% of 100 means 60. So we need to find out in how many papers he scored less than 60. So in this paper he scored only 40. That means less than 60. Similarly, you need to find out in all the papers. So next is 6. So 6 by 45 into 360. Okay. Now 6 by 45 into 360 means if you cancel by 3, it will become here 2. Here it is going to become 1 and 50. Right. So you can cancel by 5. It is going to become 3 here. And it is going to become 7 and 2. Now if you 72 by 3 is 2, 6, 12, 24. So 24 into 2 is 48. Again it is less than 60. Now if you are taking the third subject is called 7, right? So the ratio is 7. So 7 by 45 into 360. So just take like this. If I am cancelling with 9, it is going to become 5. Here it is going to become 40. So again it is 40 by 5 is 8. So 7 into 8 is 56. So in this also he is scoring less than 60. Now if you are taking the next paper, it is 8, right? So 8 by 45 into 360. Okay. So if you are cancelling by 9, it is becoming 5 and it is becoming 40. So it is becoming 8. 8 into 8 is 64. So this is greater than 60. So this won't come, and this will also won't come because it is the ratio is 10. So it's getting actually the ratio for 5 is 9 and ratio for sixth paper is 10. So it is getting higher. So this 3 won't come. Okay. And this 3 will come. So answer is option B3. So in this way you need to solve this question. So now let us see a different kind of question. So this is from UPSC 2020. Actually this is the typical ratio question. Here you are given a sum of money, rupees 2500. It is distributed among X, Y and Z in the ratio. Some ratios are given. And what is the difference between the maximum and minimum share? So what you need to do is that you need to find out the share of X, Y and Z, and from that you need to find out the difference between the maximum and minimum shares. So this is a typical question, but the only problem here is that the ratio given is in fractions. So here what you need to do is that, so here the ratio is 1:2:3:4:5:6. So if you are going to do as the fractions, the calculations is going to be very difficult. So what you need to do is that you just multiply with the same number in all the ratios so that it's going to become an integer, proper integer. Okay. So here the LCM of 2, 4 and 6 is 12. So I am going to multiply 12 in all the ratios. Even if you multiply with the same number in all the ratios, then the ratio is going to be the same. Okay. So just multiply like this. So 1/2 into 12 is 6. So 6 is 2. 3/4 into 12 is, it will become like cancel by 3, cancel by 4, it is going to become 9. Now it's cancelled by 6. 5 into 2 is 10. So the ratio is 6:9:10. Now actually you can do this very easily. Now the ratio has become 6:9:10. So first let us see what is the share for X. So the ratio for X is 6 and the total is 6 plus 9, 15 plus 10 is 25. So 6 by 25 into 2500. So that means it's 600. Now for Y it is 9 by 25 into 2500. So it is becoming 900, and for Z it is 10 by 25 into 2500. It will become 1000. Here the maximum value is 1000 and minimum value is 100. So 1000 minus 100 is 400. So the answer is C, 400. So this was actually very simple question, very easy question, the most generic type of questions that can be asked from ratios. But the only problem was the ratios. If you are going to do with, even if you are doing with the same thing, if you are doing as fractions also, you will get the answer. The only problem is that calculation will be difficult. Okay, so in that case, if you multiply with the same number in all the ratios to make it as proper number, proper natural number, then it's going to be very easy. So first do like that and then do the question. Okay. So guys, I hope you like the video. So if you like this video, please do subscribe, share and support. And if you want to join my Telegram channel, as I said in the start of the video, you can join it using the link that I will be providing in the description box. So thank you so much. I'll be coming with a new video soon.